What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 6 of the final push here with Watford in the Championship in English football. So hopefully you guys are good. This is of course now episode 6. This series has been going really well. You guys have been supporting it insanely. It's been a long time since a series of mine has consistently got way over 100 likes, and just for you guys to continue supporting the series is awesome. Just one thing that I wanted to kick off the video by saying, and that was a huge thank you for 5,000 subscribers. I'm actually recording this in advance, so I'm kind of hoping I get 5,000 subscribers by the time this goes up, or is it's going to be awkward. But yeah, it's a landmark that my channel is going to reach in the next few days at least, mainly due to the hype around Football Manager 2014, and I just want to say a huge thank you if you're new around here for subscribing. Hopefully you're enjoying the regular content, and of course if you're a long-term viewer, thank you for your support, guys. I kind of know the names in the comments and stuff, and I know who's been around a while, and there's definitely familiar names that I see on my channel, and I just want to take the time to thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers, because it is a massive landmark, I guess, in terms of my channel. So anyway, moving on into today's episode, we had 5 games since the previous episode, which was against QPR. As you can see here, looking at them, mixed bag of results really. Some very impressive results here. Also a few that are a little bit meh. We'll kick it off with the meh results, that's the technical term for them. A 2-0 defeat. This was at Yeovil, and they're bottom of the league, I believe, which was, second from bottom now, but at the time they were bottom of the league. Really disappointing, terrible, embarrassing performance. Team just didn't play. I can't argue with the result at the end of the day. Team just wasn't good enough. Following on from this, another disappointing result, this time crashing out of the FA Cup against Bournemouth. Bournemouth themselves aren't necessarily a bad team, and we actually probably had the better spells of the game, but ultimately we didn't win, and we go out of the domestic cup at the first hurdle yet again, which, both times this has happened, both with the League Cup and FA Cup this year. Certainly something I'd love to rectify next season. Luckily for us, we've definitely changed around our fortunes in the league. You'll now notice that in the league, in the last 7 games, we've actually won 5, which is a really good performance by our team, and it's certainly seen us kind of get a resurgence back up the table. We've won our last 3 games on the bounce, and I think the last time we did this in the league was actually right at the start of the season, so this is the best bit of fun we've had in a long time, which is really odd for 3 games won in a row to be like this, but it's simply put, we've been poor. We'll show you off these results anyway. 2-1 win against Reading was the first of these. Reading second in the league, a very good team, and to get a 2-1 win was really impressive. To come from behind in the manner we did was really impressive. Didn't necessarily control possession, but what we did do was perform really well on the day. Took our chance as well. Deeney and I can't say his name, Forestieri, getting the goals for us. There we go. Following on from this, a little bit of a bounce back against Bournemouth, exerting some revenge, I suppose, for the defeat that we'd got to them in the FA Cup. This time playing really well, getting a 2-1 win, having a player sent off but still being able to hold out the game. Good performance by the guys again. And then the final of these results, 1-0 win against Nottingham Forest, slightly against the run of play, but again we created some good chances, and there might be a few things that you're noticing with these last 3 games that we've won, and that's the fact that we've not necessarily dominated the ball, and this is by and large down to the new tactic that I'm using. Again, fiddling with my tactics, trying to get some consistency. Trying to get a formation that I feel confident going into a lot of games with, and this is the kind of formation I've got at the moment. It's a very rigid counter-attacking tactic, using a 3-1-4-1-1, using the shadow striker. A bit of an experiment, this one, giving us some real good solid defensive play, but at the same time we offer something going forward, especially with Forestieri and Troy Deeney up top. Certainly been playing well, these two. So yeah, it's a little bit different, this counter-attacking tactic, because we basically, I want to call it sexy counter-attacking football, but that obviously doesn't exist. The basic premise of this tactic is that we will kind of sit back and then hit teams on the break quickly. One thing that we certainly have in our team is pace and passing ability, and so I wanted to make the most of kind of maybe being able to hit teams on the break, because going forward we were just conceding too many, even on control. Playing that a little bit more conservatively, sticking ourselves on counter, but then kind of trying to play a little bit sexily and putting a twist on the traditional kind of, what's the word, kind of Route 1 football that you see Stoke play on the counter-attack, or did do in the past under Tony Pulis. So you can see here, set to counter-attack, roam from positions is on. This is just just to give some creative freedom when going forward. We're going to try and work the ball into the box. We have players with good passing ability. Our players are going to have to work hard to get up the field, and whilst work rate is a weakness in our side, both Shaw, Murray and Pudil have decent work rates to get up and down the park, and so as the wingers, they're offering a lot of the attacking presence alongside Forestieri and Deeney. In terms of our defence, trying to play out the defence quite nicely, not this hoof ball up to a target man kind of counter-attacking football. Plenty of simpler options slightly further up the field for the defence to pass to, and that's what I'm looking for them to do. Playing at a high tempo, cannot play slowly on the counter. If you play slowly on the counter, you're kind of defeating the aim of a counter-attack, because ultimately it's a tactic where you're willing to sacrifice for kind of possession in order to exploit the gaps that teams leave behind when they go forward. As for the defensive ones, we have used high to mark in, hassle opponents and push higher up. The reason for this being is I don't want to allow teams to really kind of exert dominance over us. Whilst I'm happy for teams to have the majority of the ball, I want to make sure that we're hassling them at all times, really making sure they can't have too much of the ball and allowing our players really to hunt them down, chase them, and just, you know, don't let the team have any kind of time on the ball, I suppose, and try and catch them out of possession during the early phases of play rather than having to tackle, because it's something that defenders certainly seem to have an incapability of doing this year on FM. So anyway, we go into today's Brighton game having lost 4-0 before. We did lose 4-0 before. It was really disappointing. There are a few transfers just to tell you guys about quickly that happened during the transfer window. If I just go to the transfer history tab, here you can see a few players in, few players out. Fabrini did go out as I kind of anticipated. I managed to get £4 million for him and sell him to Parma, who are not exactly a rival of ours. Whilst he is a very, very good player, his wage kind of total was like 20 million, and he was worth quite a bit of money, and he'd only played 7 games. Ultimately, he doesn't quite fit into the system that I want to play, and so it made sense just to sell him on. 4 million in the bank is definitely going to help us out financially, and all in all I think it's a good little deal. 2 players on the loans in. These players are players who can play in the central midfield area. It was an area of the park which, whilst I have plenty of players who can play there, I wanted to add a little bit more strength and depth in those areas. So 2 loan signings. Here we have Enes Alushi, who's German, so that's probably the worst pronunciation I've ever done. But this guy, 28 years old, really low wages, on loan from Kaiserslautern, yeah, that team. And then Edu Bedia from Barcelona, 24 years old, this guy. Not a bad centre mid, really low wages as well, so a player who comes in, can offer a little bit of, I guess, strength and depth for us, and we've got some options as a result of these new players. So anyway, let's go into today's game against Brighton. It's going to be a tricky tie. At the moment, you can see here at the league, we are in 6th place, which isn't actually too bad considering we also have a game in hand. If we win this game in hand, we'll actually go level on points with Bolton and Reading for the automatic promotion spot. Brighton have pretty much pulled away here. I think it's going to be tough for any team to kind of, I guess, chase them down unless they make some bad mistakes. But yeah, we'll see how we get on today. Obviously, Brighton are a very strong team. I'd love us to keep our unbeaten run going that we've kind of got going from the last 3 games. But Brighton are certainly, I guess, a very good team. I know Brighton are a good team in the Championship. I'm kind of amazed at just how kind of dominant they are in this save at the moment. Kind of mind-boggling, but I'm hoping that we can get a win today. We are at home. This is going to be probably the toughest game of the season, and the fact that we've already played them means that going into the second half of the season, I kind of have this nice thought in the back of my mind, well, we've played the hardest team in the league, it's done now, so we don't have to worry about that, maybe that game coming up late in the season. So anyway, it's raining here at Vicarage Road. We will see what will happen here. I thought my player was about to get sent off for that 2-footed tackle, but we've been let off. But no, we'll see how we get on. Brighton, quality side. It's going to be really tricky to do well against them. Obviously, our new system is kind of pretty conservative, and so I'm hoping we might be able to hit Brighton on the break as they come and attack. Something that they certainly like to do as a team, as was evident, I suppose, by our 4-0 defeat at the hands of them. Got a chance here. Ball whipped into the box. Options in the centre. Bury that. It's in. I'm not sure how it's gone in. I'm not sure why their keeper's not tried to save it, but I'm not complaining. 1-0 up. First real chance of the game for either side, and we have taken it very nicely. Taking it in our set-piece chance, well, you've got to do that against these big teams in the big games, and this is the kind of game which I talked about episodes ago, but if you can beat the big teams, the other teams that, I guess, rival clubs in your league aren't going to beat. It always gives you a good standing in any league, but particularly in the Championship, a league that is just so close. And I mean, it's unbelievable how close it is in this save, kind of in terms of the difference between the first promotion spot, kind of for second place, and then the pack chasing the playoffs. It's just unbelievable. They've got a chance here. Ball whipped in. Ukani getting the save for us. What a beast. He's made a few decent saves. His average ratings have never been superb. I don't know if I want to attribute that to FM14 beta goalkeepers being all bad, or if that's just the fact that he's not a very good keeper. I'd be interested to actually know, guys, like what your experience has been with FM14 goalkeepers. Maybe let me know in the comments. It's a funny one. In FM13, the keepers always seem to kind of be inconsistent and unable to save anything. In this game, I've seen my keepers pull off the most crazy saves, but then they can't save the easiest ones. And I've also noticed that keepers seem to have a problem if the ball is just squared across, whereby they just stand on the wrong side of their goal, so the goal's completely open. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, we've got a chance here maybe. No, we haven't. I was thinking we were about to break down Brighton's play and hit them on the break. They've got a chance here. Mackay Smith, can he get in the ball for them? He can. We've got to defend this. Ukani with a double save, I think. Maybe it was headed away. I think it was by Sean Murray. Absolutely insane stuff. That is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the keepers seem ridiculously inconsistent. But no, we're looking okay. 15 minutes left. Time to make some changes, I think. Really just to see out this game. I'm going to bring off Troy Deeney. Not had the most action-packed game ever. Going to bring on Lassard, see if he can maybe get a goal, get some fresh legs up front. As you can see, we've only had 2 shots on goal all game, but so far the counter-attacking tactic is working for us, and we might just be about to give Brighton their second defeat of the season. Not long left now. Surely that's going to be it, ref. It is it. We've won 1-0. That was a smash and grab. I said at the start of this that I've not been looking to get smash and grabs with this counter-attacking tactic, but that's exactly what we've just done there. Good result for us. You can see here, looking at the league, everyone else played their games as well, so we still have this game in hand. But that was a good performance. We got the goal that we needed from a set piece. Got a few vital points there, and if we can win our game in hand, it'll take us 5 points clear of, I guess, Charlton, who are occupying the bottom spot in the playoffs. So that would be a really impressive feat if we can do that. Get ourselves a little bit of breathing room, but that seriously is an amazing result there. I'm not going to lie, pretty fortunate, but we kept a clean sheet against Brighton, who were top of the league, and that was one of the big problems I was having with tactics, was conceding. And whilst we've not necessarily had loads of clean sheets in these recent wins, and we've only been winning by the odd goal, it's more important to get the 3 points on the board than anything else, and it's working for us. So, yeah, I think that wraps things up for today, guys. I'm looking at the fixtures here. Who is around us in the league? We've got Reading and Bolton and Derby. Have we got any of them coming up? Bolton's a little bit too soon, but then there isn't really a game coming up because we have Derby then, and who was the other team? My brain is doing farts here. Reading. When do we have Reading? Have we already played Reading twice? Yeah, we have. So we've actually played both teams who are at the top. So I'm probably just going to say the next game's going to be the Charlton game. I think Charlton are up in the league. They're in 6th, so that seems like a half-decent game to do. That's not too far in advance either. Gives me just a chance to play a few more games, get my teeth into this save. Hopefully we can maintain this little winning run. Got a few easier ties compared to, I guess, Reading and Brighton, which were 2 of our last 4. But no, great performance by the team. Looking at our boardroom confidence and stuff just quickly, you can see here that the fans are and the board are disappointed by the defeat to Yeovil. Fans seem to be happy with the departure of Fabrini. They feel, well, we did well to get £4 million for him, and happy that we made a profit on him, which is good to see. And then they're loving Adriano. Of course they're loving Adriano, even though he's really not played that many games. But looking at the actual kind of, I guess, confidence areas, I'm amazed that the squad harmony is so good, but that has definitely helped us with our job status. And also I got a new contract. I didn't mention this, but I did get a new contract signed, so that was pretty awesome. So anyway, guys, that does wrap things up for today. As I mentioned, likes are appreciated. Let me know in the comments what your take is on FM14 goalkeepers. Are they better than FM13? What are the kind of noticeable things about them that you've seen when you've been playing the beta. And one other thing is, if you've not pre-ordered the beta yet, check the link down below. I have a discount code registration link, referral link thing for g2a.com. They're selling Football Manager 2014 for less than £25. And yeah, you'll get the code emailed to you instantly upon purchase. So I highly recommend you guys check that out. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack. Thank you so much for watching as always. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.